it's news like this that changed the way I view the world. I now have a much more refined way of thinking and ideology than I used to have 5 years ago. And it's specifically due to this. Now, again, I don't like ambulance chasing on my channel, but every now and then something like this happens, and I think it's warranting a conversation. So, in Portland, which is a very progressive, very left-wing city, there was an incident which ended up with a homeless man, black man, stabbing another gentleman. And the incident was actually trapped on camera. There's very little doubt, very little wiggle room as to what happened. And it went to trial. And as you can see here, a process called jury nullification happened, where despite the evidence, despite the fact that there's video footage of it, the jury has said that no, the guy is not guilty. And so he gets to walk away. Now, his defense is that the guy was racist. So we're talking about a homeless black man, which saw the other guy calling him the N-word. And so he thought that he needs to check that fool. Now, when he went to court, he said that he was afraid for his safety. He thought that the racist man is going to beat him up. But the video evidence doesn't suggest that. In fact, the prosecutor also says that, as you can see from the video evidence, the guy doesn't believe that he's in any danger. Like, he's not trying to de-escalate the situation. But as you can see, the jury ended up saying that he's innocent. And so a lot of people are outraged. I saw Sargon from the Lotus Eaters, and I see a lot of my friends being outraged as well. And as I said, it's things like this that changed my view of the world. Because here's the thing. I understand nepotism. And I even understand clan-based nepotism. In the sense of Joe Biden signing a pardon for his son. Like, I fully get that. You know, like, most people as fathers would probably do as well. Like, you know that your son is guilty, but you have the ability to make it so he doesn't get punished, right? And I understand clan-based nepotism. Like, for instance, if a Romanian is in America and he has the ability to side with another Romanian, chances are he will. Americans do the same in Romania, by the way. Like, there were a couple of cases where American soldiers have gotten drunk and then ran over people with a car. And America basically wanted those soldiers back. Like, they didn't want the Romanian authorities to punish them. And so, like, you get to see these things in the world, right? Like, you get to see these clan-based nepotisms, if you will. But it's different when you have, like, a homeless guy that's violent. Because even if he happens to be the same race, the same ethnicity, the same creed like I am, at the end of the day, it's making the streets dangerous. Like, I'm walking there with my wife. I'm walking there with my kids. Like, what message am I sending to the community? Like, even if, like, let's say I was a black person in America, and this guy, and I'm very progressive, very liberal-minded, right? And this other black guy stabs a white person. Like, this is a person that's capable of stabbing another guy. And so, what guarantee do I have that they're not going to stab my family next? Like, you know? But that's not what's happening here. Like, what's happening here is a jury which was made by people of different colors and different genders, right? Like, there were white people on the jury, and there were also men and women. And they basically all agree that, no, this guy is innocent. This managed to change the way that I view the world, in the sense that before, I thought that you have criminals and you have victims. And all the victims hate the criminals. Like, that was common sense to me. I thought that if you have a society and criminals get arrested, the victims would cheer. But then I got confronted with reality, and most specifically American reality from San Francisco and Chicago. And time again I saw victims being rescued and actually insulting the rescuers. So there were two cases that really blew my mind. One of them was the recent case of a lady that got carjacked and her arm was broken. And she makes a TikTok video saying that despite all this, she doesn't want Trump to send her fascist goons in order to clear up the streets. Like she's actually happy with the situation. She got carjacked and she thinks like, no, this is normal. And then another situation where a guy tried to assault a woman in the New York subway, and a good Samaritan appears and he pulls out a gun and threatens the guy, and the woman freaks out because it's like, why would you pull a gun? Why would you do something like that? Like, his life is not as important as my purse, blah, blah, blah. And so basically what reality tells me is that there are places on planet Earth where people aren't manipulated, people aren't being misled. Like, no, they genuinely want to live like that. Like, even when they're confronted with the criminal and the criminal criminalizes them, they still want that system. And so even if they manage to clean up the streets and get rid of all the criminals, in a couple of months the criminals would return. Because the culture is the problem. If the people genuinely say like, no, we need criminals to be happy. Like, we're not living happy lives unless they're criminals doing bad things to us. What do you do then? What's the solution to that problem? Because I keep seeing, a lot of people on the internet saying that they have the solution and, you need the tougher laws or people are being manipulated and whatever. It's like, okay, but can you imagine what I'm saying here? Like, can you picture this? A city where people genuinely, unironically, deep in their hearts, want to live with criminals. And they're like, it's not about democracy, it's not about the way they vote, but like the culture is there. Like, even when presented with the opportunity of punishing one of these criminals, they go like, no. Even when you have like the ability to bring in the National Guard in order to remove the criminal element, they go like, no. These are our criminals. In fact, they think that you are the problem. Like, you are what's bad in their life. It's not the carjacker. Like, you who vote for Donald Trump is the problem. It's not the guy stabbing someone else in the street. It's like, no, it's the police for arresting him and putting him to court. That's the issue. And so, again, like, what is the solution here? And initially I thought, okay, well, maybe they're manipulated, right? Like, fair enough. Like, maybe there's money being poured in to activist groups in order to indoctrinate them so that that they're being propagandized. But you can't say that it's being indoctrination when they themselves are a victim of a crime, like reality has been shown to them, and despite all that, they're like, no, our way of life. It's fascinating, isn't it? Right? And it does explain a few things. Like, the reason that there's high crime in certain areas and there's not in others is not due to the fact that the law is different. It's like, no, the people in Portland, like, genuinely want to live like this. Is it even moral to make it so they don't live like that? Like, I mean, in my perfect dictatorship, if I was the tyrant of America, like, what I would do is, like, I would build a wall. Not at the border, but, like, just around Portland. It's like, okay, you want to live like that? Fine. But do it by yourselves, right? Like, don't ask me to fund your type of lifestyle. Like, we don't want that culture here. Like, keep it there. That's fine. You can live like that if you want. But keep it there. Jesus. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see more such articles, right? Like, this isn't the only time I've seen something like this. And also notice how the ideology is interesting, right? Like, if you have a person of color that's attacking a police officer and the police officer shoots the guy, then, well, you shouldn't have shot him over an attack. Like, that's unreasonable. The guy was just unarmed and you shot him. That's not okay. But if you have a conflict between two citizens and one of them says the N-word, well, that's worse than having a gun. Then he deserves getting stabbed, right? Yeah, it's messed up, but what can you do? Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.